welcome back to a new Rust in Time video, and today we've got something slightly different on offer. We've come to visit my friend Rhys, who has a number of different interesting cars, and I think it'll be really interesting to see. So we'll go and visit him now, and we'll see what he's up to and where he's planning to go with his collection. Rhys,
G'day Toby.
Nice to see you.
Yes, you too. Welcome.
We've got some lovely cars on display here.
Yes, there's a few in here.
Got a couple of Bentleys, and you've got this nice Armstrong Sidley, which I hear is a more recent acquisition.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. 1933 Armstrong Sidley. So this came from a garage in Dulwich Hill.
Really?
In Sydney. So the old chap there had it for best part of 50 years in his garage and pulled various parts off to try and, I guess, put it back on the road, and it never eventuated.
And what's your plan for it? You're reassembling it?
Yeah, my plan is just to reassemble it as it is and the parts that came with the car, and obviously determine what parts I might need, and I think I'll just enjoy it as it is in the condition that it's in. Yeah. Once we get it running and basically put the heart back in it.
And how far has the progress come at the moment?
At the moment we've got the, we're just machining the pistons and the rings, and so they'll go back in shortly, and then we can obviously start rebuilding back around from there.
And was the engine seized when you got it?
It was seized, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the other reason why it was very stiff and tough with the crank handle was because of the pistons and the rings being inappropriate size for the car.
Oh gosh.
So that's a little hurdle that we've had to work out.
So the rings were too big, were they?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So they weren't moving freely, up the bores.
And it hadn't run like that, presumably?
I don't think so.
Gosh, okay.
I think where he got to was he was rebuilding the engine, and he put those pistons in with those particular rings, and I think that's where he got unstuck. Yeah. And that's where, the restoration might have stopped, or he moved on to something else. That's the trouble. Because all this looks relatively...
Yeah, it looks in fairly sort of reasonable.
Someone's had a go at reconditioning it. Yeah, so it was built in Sydney. It's a Criswell body, and I believe it's one of two that Criswell bodied in the coupe style.
Really?
Yes.
And how many of the particular model are still in existence, do you know?
I know there's a sedan in Queensland. Okay. With the same bodybuilder. Yeah. But my knowledge of other cars, I don't know.
And where was the bodybuilder based?
Inner west of Sydney. I'm not exactly sure where, but...
So it didn't come far to go to Dulwich Hill?
No, but it started its life in Young.
Did it?
So it was delivered to Young, came back to Sydney, I'm going to say maybe in the 50s, where it spent some time in... went to Young, and then it went to Dundas.
All right. So the engine you thought was about 2 litres?
I think so, yeah. Roughly, yeah. They call it a 1540.
Okay.
So 15 horsepower.
Oh yeah, and that's taxable horsepower.
Yeah.
And we were looking in the bore earlier because we noticed that there's quite a bit of pitting down there. Yep. Which you've been sensibly trying to hone out.
That's exactly right. Yep.
But on a side valve engine with low compression, it probably wouldn't make too much difference. Something like that.
Especially for the limited use I'll be using.
And we were intrigued as well by the Enots one-shot system being a sort of precursor to the Bijou Luvac system that was fitted to later Rolls Royces and things.
Quite Art Deco as well, really. See, that was something that wasn't on the car that I had to dig through.
Wasn't it?
Dig through parts and even find. You're sort of finding. That's right. You're sort of finding screws that have got like the paint colour, and you're like, oh yeah, that might go
That
there.
might go there.
That might go there, and it's sort of
So how much was on the car and how much was in boxes when you bought it?
pretty much in a whole. It was as it is. This is how it was. Except for stuff like, well, that door was off it.
Okay.
So, you know, even finding the hinges for that door, you're digging through the boxes.
Yeah, and you almost didn't get a box.
Almost didn't get a box of the timber trims, actually.
So what happened with that?
Well, when I was signing the paperwork to purchase the car, the lady said, "I'll come into the dining room table," and we were sitting there, and there was a box in the corner. And I said, "What's happening? What's that box?" Because I sort of thought to myself, "That looks like Armstrong Sidley." And she said, "Oh, that's in the rubbish thing." And I said, "Well, no." I said, "That's all the timber work for the Armstrong Sidley."
Yeah.
So the door trims and yeah,
And you saved it.
I
but
saved
just
it.
narrowly.
narrowly, and stuff like that.
You can imagine it happens all the time.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't know where that was the box.
That was it. That was so nearly lost.
That's right. That's right. So you know, timber work like that.
Oh, and where would you get that?
Where would you get that?
Nearly 100 years old.
So that's the last box that I saved from the garage. You know, I'm sure that, well, they go on the doors.
Yeah,
So
it's very nice.
actually something that I was most impressed with was this door card that I found in the garage.
Wow, 100-year-old door card.
But I just, again, love the detailing in it.
Yes.
And I would have never have known this if I didn't find this in the garage.
Yeah, the pleats
Yeah.
on it, they're done very differently, aren't they? Because they actually go one way rather than being central.
Yes.
Original carpet.
I would say so, yeah.
Very interesting.
So again, I really like that.
And it's got plywood backing, has it, rather than the...
Yeah.
Oh no, it has got sort of hardboard as well. It's got plywood down there to strengthen it.
That might be the later edition.
It does look possible.
And they've used the hardboard from the get-go.
Yeah.
So it's a good pattern for me.
It is. That would be very good to make a proper restoration.
Because again, I might put a new bit of hardboard on the back,
Yeah.
and then try and
You can probably reinvigorate that.
and
quite.
try and use this leather at least on one side, and then on the other side, because I haven't got the other side, then I'd use the modern leather
Yeah.
or new leather.
And your plan for it is not necessarily a contours replication.
No, like I'm most content. You know, basically what I've done with the wheels is I've pen trolled them,
Okay.
so I've sealed them exactly how they are, so I can, you know, and that's what I'll do with the rest of the car. I'll pen troll the whole car, so it's all sealed.
Yeah.
Because I figured I was at a rally in the UK, and there was a number of Concours cars there at the rally, and yes, you get 10 people around it. Lovely car, you know, amazing car. The car where there was 50 blokes around it was the barn find.
Yeah, the original.
The original car where the stories can be told, and
The story is told by the patterner of the paint.
that's right. So that's why, for this car, that's what, you know, it'll be me be able to turn it on in the shed and move around, you know, and take it to the car show and be able to drive it into the car show, and that'll be about it.
But you probably, with a car of this age, it wouldn't necessarily be a pleasant thing to drive it to.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to drive down on the motorway, yeah.
And you had some work done with the wheels. The tyres look very nice and new.
Yeah, so put new shoes on it. And yeah, you can see that glossy finish where I've just cleaned it, the flaky rust and paint off it, but I've just treated it with the Pentrol. So,
That's good.
and the same with the front. The front, I had, you know, spokes came with the car, all loose, and I just had it rebuilt. And you can see like the rim, has got some paint treatment on it, but then the centre hub, it's obviously been sat in a different part of the shed for 50 years, rusting at a different point in time with the new spokes. And so that's the sort of story I want with the car. It's just, that's how it was, that's how I got it.
Yeah, that is really interesting, isn't it?
So this is definitely the original colour with the fine green pinch stripe that obviously matches the green upholstery on the inside of the car.
That's a very nice colour combination. So most of it would have been grey and then the red is undercoat?
I believe the red's undercoat, yeah.
Okay.
So I reckon what he's done is he's stripped it
and then
started his undercoat process, and yeah, again, that's the story to be told. Yeah. And then I would say this blacker colour, that was the original undercoat, and that's why you got, again, the different contrasts of colour.
And then you got the white on top.
Yeah.
Is that a sort of vinyl cover on the...
Yeah, well, I think it would have been leather, to be honest.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was that canvas, and then they paint it by the looks of things. I don't know how watertight it would have been for however long of a period.
Probably only when it was brand new.
But I always had in my head, and I was corrected not so long ago, that the reason they put it on there, and you know, on all these coupes, and even sedans, was to eliminate the car being so hot. That's what I had in my head.
Oh.
But I was corrected that they just didn't have the machines to be able to roll
steel
that big.
Yeah. And probably to reduce weight as well.
And possibly, yeah.
Well, that's what they claim.
Yeah. So I don't know where I got to reduce heat.
Because they don't open, do they?
They don't open, no. And actually, I've got another Vauxhall coupe, and it's all the roof has got cloth all the way down the back. So it's got this lovely grand pre-select gearbox, which is huge.
That is huge. And it has this very interesting setup where you can see the flywheel there, and then it has that almost prop shaft connecting the gearbox.
With the pre-select lever up here, which is 4-speed with reverse.
Yeah. You had a bit of trouble with this gearbox initially, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was stuck in gear, and being a pre-select, we were sort of umming and ahhing what was going on. So what I did was I removed this top cover and I filled the whole gearbox with acetone and brake fluid, 50-50, and I left it for a week, and I dropped it, and the car magically came out of gear.
That is a very interesting technique. How did you work that one out?
It was advised by another club member to try it, to unfree it, because the gearbox, the oil got so cluggy in there and so sticky that everything was just stuck. Yeah. And I was just advised that brake fluid and acetone sort of would free it up.
That's a very good solution, because otherwise you'd have had a nightmare.
And I did that with the motor as well.
Oh, really?
So I put it down the
that was in the bores.
In the bores, and when I first was trying to free the engine. Yeah. So I've got timber floors that I've obviously got to put in here, but I'm a carpenter by trade, so all that is non-scary.
Yes, that's very good when you're working with cars that have a considerable portion of wood in them.
Well, especially down the bottom half of these doors as well. You know, it does need a bit of coach work to be done.
Yeah. But it's all there, and it's still in reasonable condition for something which stayed stationary for so long.
They had this funny vinyl over the top of the leather.
Oh, yeah.
And so obviously I was very excited when it uncovered the beautiful leather underneath.
That is amazing.
And you can see the card, you know, it would have had a great deal of use
Yes.
with the imprint there.
That is amazing.
These lovely lights are a nice feature too.
Looking at the lights, they're nice and Art Deco. They're like something out of a cinema.
That's right, yes. And with the centre rows as well.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
And you have a particular interest in Doctor's coupes.
Yeah,
don't
that
you?
is definitely definitely what I like, and that's why it's so much of an interest to me, being that coupe.
Yeah.
So, you know, this coupe being 1933 and this 1934 Vauxhall coupe behind it, you know, they're quite similar.
Yes.
So.
And you brought this one in from New Zealand.
That's right. Yep. So it's come over the ditch in recent months, and I'm having some. I had some starter motor issues where it wasn't particularly a nice sound between starter motor and the ring gear. So I'm attending to that at the moment.
Yeah. We were looking at that earlier, and it had been fitted with a different flywheel,
I believe so, yes.
and the number of teeth were incorrect for the starter mitt.
That's right. So they weren't gelling from the ring gear to the little cog on the starter motor.
And how do you find parts for such old cars generally?
The Vauxhalls are quite good with our Vauxhall Club here in Australia. We have a quite large amount of parts within the club, and I guess it's just connecting with other club members who have other cars that may be on the road and not on the road, sorry, that they can spare the spare parts.
And the knowledge too, that
And the
helps to get
knowledge.
them all back on the road.
So this one is a businessman coupe, being no dicky seat and having the boot.
Oh, interesting. So the idea was that being a businessman, they would put more in the boot.
That's right. They
Yeah.
could put their sales stuff in the boot and drive to the towns and sell their stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, have their overnight bag or whatever.
And speaking of Vauxhalls, you've got another one out here at the front,
Yes.
which is similar in body style, but does have the dicky seat.
Yeah, so this one's different again, being a Holden bodied. So the red Vauxhall just talking about, it was bodied in New Zealand. So it was a New Zealand bodybuilder. And I believe they did 17 of that body style. This one is a Holden body on a Vauxhall.
Yeah.
And this is a 1937. And this is what they would call a roadster. And yes, with the dicky seat.
And it has this lovely Art Deco style about it as well, which sort of lends in with the wavy sail in
Yes.
blue across the bodywork.
And this grille here is very
That's beautiful.
This is very Art Deco,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's lovely.
It is really
Right
lovely.
down to the fins and the streamlining effect
Yes.
in various different parts.
Yep.
And you were telling us earlier about the way that they'd chromed the bonnet and chromed the grille and then painted them.
So this is my understanding of it. They would have to chrome the whole bonnet to achieve that chrome on the scallop. They may have dipped it. They may have dipped it to at least that point. But generally, I think they were all chromed, and then they would buff all that chrome. If you paid all this money to chrome, and you're going to scuff it up so the paint would stick.
Because they obviously haven't done it here, and that's why it's still smooth underneath the paint.
That's right,
And
and
the paint's come on.
I think from factory, this was painted.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a bit hard to believe having that nice chrome underneath, but
Can we see the engine?
yeah, of course.
So you've got a very large single downdraft carburettor.
Yes, and they call this a 14.6,
Okay, so that's
14 horsepower, 6-cylinder.
Do you know what the capacity of this one is?
I'm not sure.
Probably be about the same.
I would say it'd be at the same in that era.
So simple. There's virtually nothing on the bulkhead either.
I think it's had a little bit of a backyard paint job, and I believe they've taken a few things off and haven't put it back on, perhaps.
It does look peculiarly bare almost.
It does.
But they were simple cars, weren't
I do like the little panel to get into the back of the gauges.
they? Oh, is that so you can get into the gauge?
Yeah, so you're not sort of underneath.
sensible.
You're not under your dash trying to.
Yeah.
I guess fiddle under there. You can take that off, and if there is a problem with your gauges.
Because there's a similar setup on my Triumph Roadster where there are two wing nuts under the dashboard and you undo them and the whole thing lifts up.
Oh wow!
And you can just work on it upside down.
Wow.
They did think of things back then, didn't they? But it looks very good.
Yeah.
And the legroom in the dicky seat is actually reasonably impressive,
Yes.
I thought.
Another nice feature about this car that with this front seat, you tilt it forward and you have this sort of parcel shelf, but you also have this this toolbox area where the jack and the crank handle
It's all clipped in.
is all clipped. Unfortunately, it's not here with this car,
Oh, that's a pity.
but it's still quite nice.
And that box presumably would be to hide the roof? Or does the roof fold back?
Potentially, like maybe the side curtains.
Oh yes, it'd be for the side curtains.
Yeah,
Yeah, like an MG.
yeah.
Because the roof actually does have a proper folding mechanism.
Yes, it folds like all in behind here. That's right, yeah.
And you've got a number of interesting Bentleys here as well.
Well, yeah, that's my other bug is Mark 6 Bentleys.
Which one did you get first?
My first my first Mark 6 was the one on the top. So it's a 1947 model. And it's quite an early Mark 6. It lived its life in Cooma on a farm, so I'm the third owner of that car.
Oh wow. And was it in the same condition when you got it?
Yeah, so basically it was a full recommission. It sat for a number of years in the shed at Cooma. So it was a full recommission of emptying the fuel tank, of foul fuel, making sure the lines were clear to the carburettors, rebuilt the carburettors, dropped all the oils, engine oil, diff oil, gearbox oil. And yeah, if you asked me to drive to Queensland tomorrow, I'd have no problem in doing so.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
So you've got this other lovely Mark 6 underneath, and this one's a later one. But perhaps you could go into the differences between them and the different series to which each car belongs?
Yeah, well, this is actually probably a good example of doing some of the differences with the other car above. You can see that they put a lot more bling or chrome details on the later cars.
Yes, it's missing up there.
Because the top one, it hasn't got that extra chrome detail. Another difference is the different amounts of styles of hubcaps. So you can see this one, it had the chrome centre detail with the painted outer ring, and then on this one, they moved to the chrome.
Yes,
they changed it, and then that changes on as the series get later and later.
Things like the telltales are also different, aren't they?
Yes.
They increased the size of the chrome on
Yeah.
here.
So on the Bentley above us, it's a lot smaller, that chrome detail over the top of the Parkers and over the top of the headlights. This one as well carries a flat bumper rather than this one above. This is obviously the rear of the car, but it's got a different style bumper.
You can see it's much more curved.
That's right. And then as the series got later again, the bumpers changed a little bit again.
And there were other things they changed for the Australian market, weren't there? Because that one's which number production?
So I believe that's number 17 into Australia.
Believed to be scrapped.
Believed to be scrapped in a particular Bentley book, because it never went back to. You can fold that right back, yeah. It never went back to York's to get serviced.
Really?
Because it was in Cooma on a country farm and they just got their local mechanic to do the servicing.
And this one has which air filter?
It's, well, as the later cars went on and for the Australian market and potentially for the markets like South Africa as well with dirt roads, they then started sending the cars out with a big oil bath.
Yes, I've seen that on my neighbour's Mark 6.
Yes.
He's got the oil bath filter on his.
So this one, again, this is a telltale sign if you didn't know the year of the car, that it hasn't got an oil bath, so it's an early Mark 6.
And it's also got the Luvax Bijou system that I mentioned earlier, which was around both pre and post-war, I think.
Yeah,
Something like
I believe so, yes.
But it's mainly a chassis lubrication system. So you'd have one shot of oil, a light sort of oil delivered to various different points of the chassis which needed lubricating
Yes, that's right.
to cut down on grease points.
Yes. Less dirty hands-on maintenance for the driver.
The chauffeur.
Yes. Well, these were never chauffeur cars, these Bentleys. They're always believed to be the driver car. But I'm sure there would have been some that had chauffeurs. So another thing, another sort of like point of difference between that one being earlier is all the seats were slab leather rather than having the pleats. And the reason why they went to the pleats is it was more cost effective to hide imperfections in the leather. So instead of changing the whole slab of leather, they could just, alter it on the pleats.
Because presumably if you got a cow with a barbed wire mark in
That's
the hide,
right.
then you'd have to
change the whole face of the leather instead of potentially hiding it on a seam.
And the early ones didn't have tray tables too, is that correct?
That's correct, yep. Yep. Also another sign for an early car is this chrome detail. If this car will do it.
Oh, it moves with the window.
It moves with the window rather than staying in place.
So you have this interesting frameless section almost.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So this car, as you can see, is quite dilapidated. But I love Mark 6s that much that, it doesn't really faze me.
Yeah. And are you going to restore this one completely?
No, I think I'll just leave it as is and just recommission it and basically get it back on the road.
That's the important thing, isn't it?
I think so. Keeping the cars on the road is more important to me than the looks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And if you've got, for me, I've got, my nice cars that I've got to be careful and,
It makes them more enjoyable when you can use them a bit more.
That's
and you don't
right.
have to worry about going out in the rain and having spots on the paintwork.
And that car, I use that nearly as a daily driver on weekends, and I can go to the shops, I can go in the rain, and it doesn't worry me, and I'm still enjoying the car.
Don't have to have the added worry about people dinging it in the car park.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
But you're not just into 1950s saloons and 30s doctors' coupes, because you've got a lovely Sunbeam Alpine out here.
Yes,
And that's a recent acquisition.
that is my most recent one, and it's a modern car compared to my other cars. So
Where did this one come from?
this came from a country town in New South Wales, so Harden.
Where is Harden for our international viewers?
It's basically west of Goulburn. So Goulburn being quite a large town, it's a bit further on from Goulburn.
And it was in this condition?
In this condition, yes.
It had stayed in a shed for how many years? I can see the registration sticker dates it to February 1979 when it expired.
So that's when it went into the shed, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
So it's been in there from the best part of 1980.
Wow. That is incredible. And it's in really good condition for something that sat for so long.
Yes. Well, Hardin being a very dry country town of Australia, you know, it's very good for preserving these older cars.
Yeah.
This is this white pipework, I believe, is some sort of heater or air conditioning.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
That's something that doesn't. I will remove that to go back to original. I'm not a fan of that at all.
Yes, it does look most peculiar, but we were looking at the manifold earlier. We were wondering whether that was original with the single downdraft Weber.
So I'm not fully understanding Sunbeams yet, but I believe that's what they did. They changed the manifold perhaps to suit this type of carburettor.
It's an interesting addition. When you get it running, it'll be good to see how well it goes.
Yes, it will be.
Do you think there'll be much needed to get it going?
It does turn, the motor does turn, but I sort of want to pull the radiator out and do a good flush of the block and clean out, you know, the oil. I just want to do all those sorts of nitty-gritty things before I try and start it. So yeah, it's a 1959 model, Series 1. So an early, well, it's the first of the this model. They may have started late 58.
But they wouldn't have come to Australia very quickly either. So.
Probably not. No. So it's got an aluminium roof that pops off. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, it's the Get Smart car," but I more see it. I'm sure James Bond.
Yes, he had one in Dr. No.
So, yeah, I call it the James Bond car.
It's got this interesting later sort of fan system, which is like a mock air conditioner.
And I think that's what.
It's just a fan.
And that's obviously what those pipes.
Yes, it must be. So they wired the heater up or ran the heater hoses into that.
So this dashboard isn't original either because they've had to accommodate this.
And they put the radio in.
That's right. So it would normally go straight across.
It's got an FM radio, so that's a later addition. I think that's off a kitchen
That looks
cupboard.
like off a bedside table.
Yeah. Oh yes, you're right. Works though, doesn't it? You've got a nice manual here. Do you think this is a later addition too?
No,
Is that original?
I believe that's original.
Gosh, it's a nice little thing, isn't it?
It is. There might be a shopping list in there. When I got the car, there was a shopping list somewhere in the car stating.
Oh yes, lemonade, sultanas, dates, cheese, cigarette lighter, steak sauce, fly spray.
So I thought that was funny.
Hopefully it didn't break down on his way to the shops. That is amazing. Teach your children well, Green Valley School. Very interesting. That's a nice piece of history.
I thought so. Just everything's tight and right with this car.
It is, isn't it?
Everything just, you know, the doors close really nice and everything just looks true and straight. So, and I can only assume the car had a respray because the colour of the outside is a little bit different to this original colour on the inside of the boot.
It's not bad though. Could have just faded.
It actually didn't come with the badge. I was fortunate enough to find a badge reasonably quickly.
How long have you had it now?
About a month.
Oh really? That is quick.
Yeah. And you wouldn't believe it, the A on the Sunbeam. So I picked this up myself and drove it on a car trailer. I pulled it behind one of my cars and I brought it home and I just touched the A and it fell off.
Oh,
But I couldn't believe it that it stayed on the car
that was lucky.
all the way home.
That was very lucky indeed. So you've got it now.
I've got it.
Yeah.
It's in the glove box.
It looks like it had that funny glue in it.
Yes,
When they held it, they had to hold it on.
that's right. So obviously something's happened and
The glue's sort of cracked.
Yeah.
That's good.
Nothing a bit of epoxy won't fix.
Well, yes, I'm just glad. And someone said to me, A is the hardest letter to get because it's another letter that is with
Shared with another car.
shared with another car.
Oh, right. And you've got another project over here, I think.
Yes. Yes. Well, that's just a donor car, really. Yeah.
Where did this one?
This one came from country New South Wales, town of Dubbo. It's quite a well-known
Yes.
town. And yeah, basically, unfortunately, the guy who started the restoration suffered from some health problems and just couldn't deliver the product. And for me, it was just an opportunity to have a donor car for those parts that are harder to come by. But unfortunately, a lot of parts have been misplaced and damaged in one way or another where I don't think this car will ever go back together.
Yes, it's a pity, isn't it? Because if it were complete, it would be much more worth restoring.
Yeah, that's right. So, I don't know, I may do some sort of Bentley special with it one day, but at the moment it's a donor car.
If it gets the other ones going, I suppose that's the important thing.
And so this is actually earlier than the car on the hoist.
Is it?
So again, you can see it hasn't got the chrome details. And that I go by series on these Bentleys, and that's a CF series. This is a BH series, and they started at AJ, I believe, and they sort of did AJ, and then it would go to BH, which is this one, and then various of other series. But yeah, it's unfortunately it's been pulled apart and it's not back together.
Needs a bit too much work, doesn't it?
And that's the biggest choice you got to make when you're going to start a car.
Yeah.
How much do I pull off, and how much is actually going to go back on in a time period that's reasonable to be able to enjoy the car?
Because you need to manufacture an interior from scratch for this, effectively.
Well, that's right. I do have this front seats.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's just the amount of money to go into it.
Yeah, wouldn't be worth it.
You know, I'd rather spend my money keeping my other Bentleys on the
I
road.
know. All these things are becoming prohibitive now, aren't they?
So, yeah, so that's
Very good.
these are my babies.
Well, thank you for the tour, Rhys. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks for coming.
That was good. It's really nice to see projects that are not just kept in storage, but are also on the move.
Yes,
It'll be great to check in maybe in a year or two
I think we need to do
and
that.
see how much work has gone on.
Yep, and there might be other new
I
additions.
think there probably will.
No, that's great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Toby.